I think we're on 36th Street. All right. I am on 36th Street in Miami. This was the original Burger King, right? The Have It Your Way jingle was really a big deal because McDonald's had a very strict menu. You know, you couldn't customize very much. You just took it. They gave it to you the way they wanted to make it. And Burger King was like, well, we can do this thing where we customize the burger however you want it. And it'll take more work from us. It's more difficult, but it's a way to maybe push us over the top with our competitor, McDonald's. Well, what happened? McDonald's had to do the same thing. And now anywhere you go, they customize everything. Burger King also chose to sell onion rings, which McDonald's hasn't done. They did do some kind of onion nuggets at one point in time, but it sounds like that may have been just to test market for the eventual chicken McNugget. But McDonald's doesn't do onion rings because it complicates the menus, and onion rings are more expensive to make than French fries. McDonald's already selling a ton of French fries. They don't want to back away from the French fry and have to sell you an onion ring. And you got to have like a separate fryer for it, I think, because otherwise everything tastes like onions. But anyway, Burger King selling those onion rings just to stand out and be different from McDonald's. This Whopper ad has become like a big thing on TikTok.
Whopper, Junior, double, triple, Whopper, flame grill taste with perfect toppers. I rule this day. Chicken, Italian spicy bacon chicken. Whopper, Junior, double, triple, Whopper. Junior Whopper. Little Timmy always liked to get one of those when we went to Burger King. Man, I miss him. And Jenny, please, Sarah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for things to end the way they did.
One of the greatest Burger King commercials I ever saw was the one with Darius Rucker, who was Hootie from Hootie and the Blowfish. Take a look at this gem.
When my belly starts a-rumbling and I'm jonesing for a treat, I close my eyes for a big surprise, the tender crisp bacon cheddar ranch. I love the tender crisp bacon cheddar ranch, the best they grow on trees, and streams of bacon ranch dressing flow right up to your knees. There's tumbleweeds of bacon and cheddar paves the streets. Folks, don't front you cause you got the juice. There's a train of ladies coming with a nice caboose. Never get in trouble, never need an excuse. That's the tender crisp bacon cheddar ranch. I love the tender crisp bacon cheddar ranch. No one tells you to behave. Your wildest fantasies come true. Dallas cheerleaders give you shaves. Red onions make you laugh instead, and French fries grow like weeds. You get the veg all day, all the lotto tickets paid. There's a king who wants you to have it your way. That's the tender crisp bacon cheddar ranch.
There is so much to unwrap in this commercial. So it starts out in black and white, and then he closes his eyes, opens them up, and it's in color. And then they're doing like a yellow brick road. So it's got this kind of Wizard of Oz vibe to it. You've got celebrities and adorable hot women everywhere. We've got the subservient chicken. We've got the Burger King. It's a magical land. He's singing Big Rock Candy Mountain, but he's got all new words telling us how they've got ranch dressing that'll come up to our knees. Here's the interesting thing. At the time of this commercial, Darius Rucker hadn't done any country music. He was a rock and roll guy. And then 3 years later, he puts out his first country album. And now he's a member of the Grand Ole Opry. He's like all in on country. And it all started because of this Burger King commercial. There was another commercial around that time that was surprisingly controversial. It was this song that they called Manthem. And it was this parody of Helen Reddy's I Am Woman.
I am man, hear me roar. The number's too big to ignore, and I'm way too hungry to settle for chick food. Cause my stomach's starting to growl, and I'm going on the prowl for a Texas double whopper. Man, that's good. Oh yes, I'm a guy. I'll admit I've been fed quiche. Wave tofu, bye-bye. Now it's the whopper beef I reach. I will eat this meat till my innie turns into an outie. I am starved. I am incorrigible. And I need to scoff a big burger, beef, bacon, jalapeno, good thing down. Yeah! I am hungry. I am incorrigible. I am mad.
The Texas Double Whopper. Eat like a man.
man.
Now, the response online, and this was the earlier days of like things like social media, it was more message boards and stuff, but the response was absolutely, people were like, oh, this is infuriating. And men were saying, well, if being a man means you have to eat greasy food, I am a woman. But a lot of people were offended by this. Newspapers reported the outrage. However, the one person that wasn't offended by it was Helen Reddy. During the time when the commercial was airing, Helen Reddy did an interview on KGO 810 in San Francisco. And the host said to her, I don't know if you want to talk about this terrible commercial that's on that Burger King has. And she said, oh, I know all about it. I had to sign off for them to do it. She said, and at first I thought, I don't know if I want to do this. But then every person I told, hey, here's what they want to do. Here's the lyrics, said, oh my God, that's hysterical. You have to let them do that. She said her sister thought it was the funniest thing she had ever heard. And she said, this, it's a funny idea. It's a joke. Let's do it. There's so much I like in this commercial. There's the guy karate chopping. There's the men burning their underwear. Which, that's a smell I don't want to be around. I don't want a fire that smells of men underwear. Now, I noticed something in the commercial. It says something like 89 Manhattan Tower on the building when he comes right out. So I was like, well, where in Manhattan is that? Because I want to go over and maybe do a filming locations tour of the Burger King Manthem I Am Man commercial. Well, amazingly, this was not shot in Manhattan. This was in Rio de Janeiro. I'm pretty sure. I'm never going to Rio. I mean, I have no plans to. So I'll never track down these locations. Burger King had a promotion with these Alf puppets that were just fantastic.
Just $2.99 and a plain broiled Whopper or large sandwich gets you your own Alf. 4 different furry aliens. Each comes with his own record.
'Cause we're doing the Max Rock.
These aliens are friendly, but they're getting out of hand. Hurry, just $2.99 gets another Alf out of here.
We do it like you do it at Burger King. Where'd you park?
There it is. There's the classic crown. You got to always ask for one of these. I feel like it's mandatory. If you go to Burger King, you come away with one of these. These things are great. They currently are giving away this one, which is this $1 million Whopper contest, and it's kind of weird. You're trying to design a Whopper, and then AI is going to make a picture of your Whopper in an ad campaign or something. I don't know. They're leaning hard into the AI, but it's a cool looking crown. Like it. Did you see King Charles was approached by 2 men that offered him a Burger King crown?
I have a present for you.
Said no. Doesn't want it. I don't blame him. Let's take a look on eBay, see what kind of crowns we can find. Oh, look at this. Star Wars Episode 3. That is very cool. You know, Burger King had the very first movie tie-in with Star Wars in 1977. So they're the first fast food company to do that. Oh, wow. Look at this one. 1972, you've got the original King there. And look, he's got servants at his side. His knight in armor doesn't look very... He's hitting himself in the head. Oh, yeah. They did the Toy Story promotion, and that was a huge hit because that movie was kind of like a surprise hit. And so there wasn't enough toys and stuff in the stores. That was cool, yeah. They had like figures that you could get in the Happy Meal or buy separately that were really good. Wow, this one says it's the original crown. Let's take a look. This looks like, I mean, this could be. They might be right about this. Look at that. Home of the Whopper. Wow. I mean, that could be how they started. It makes sense. It's a different style. It's a different shape. It's more pointy. Doesn't have these fleur de lis. Is that what those things are called? Doesn't have these decorative Mickey Mouse, upside down Mickey Mouse heads at the top. You guys probably heard the trivia that the first ever Ronald McDonald was weatherman Willard Scott.
But wait, what's that on the rocket? Oh no, Ronald McDonald, what are you doing there?
I'm just taking a little ride, proving that McDonald's hamburgers are really out of this world.
All right, well, here's the interesting thing. He turned and he went to Burger King.
What do you say? What do you say?
Delicious. I can't wait until tomorrow morning.
It's a delicious morning, and I'm here with the ladies from Garden
Right away.
I mean, that should have been a controversy. That should have been a big scandal. The new BK Crown card. got a hologram of the king on it. I like this. I think this is expired, but this was inside of the Sneak King for Xbox game. This may be my favorite Xbox game. It is a Burger King game. Burger King started out in 1953 as the Insta Burger King. It was founded by multiple investors, unlike KFC, where you can say Colonel Sanders, or even McDonald's, where you say the McDonald's brothers and then Ray Kroc, or Hardee's, where you say Wilbur Hardy. Burger King, it's like, this list of dudes.
So boys and girls, don't settle for less than a Burger King Whopper. By far the best. Look for the sign of the king on a bun where the prices are low and eating is fun.
All over Florida, now in Orlando, the grand opening, 18 cents. What would 18 cents get you back then? Wow, a double beef burger or a fruit pie? An operator places hamburger patties on the Super Insta Burger stove, which does the cooking in an upright position with radiant heat. This process is accomplished with a unique endless chain arrangement, cooking the hamburger and toasting the bun in one continuous, uniform, fast operation. Here's an ad from when they came to Tampa. Look for the red and yellow building. This timeline I found on the bkbook.com. They've got the two guys from Miami who ended up purchasing the company. And today they list Miami as being their #1 store. But of course, it was the one up in Jacksonville. They even talk about when he married Nancy Nickel from Miami, and then he started running the YMCA cafeteria. These are the humble beginnings of Burger King. In 1957, he invented the flame broiler, and then he invented the Whopper sandwich.
Meat. Soda.
Triple Whopper! Eat like a snake! Whopper!
Here's a Burger King ad from the 70s. I like this guy's reaction to the woman saying she wasn't going to sing for him.
May I help you, sir?
If I wanted a Whopper and I asked you to hold the pickles and hold the lettuce, I know I'd get that fast. But would I get to hear you sing?
No, sir.
No?
You'd get to hear us sing. Girls? Hold the pickle, hold the lettuce, special order, donuts, bread, and all we ask is that you let us serve in your way.
All right.
I recognize this guy from an old soul cinema film called JD's Revenge, which is about like a mobster who comes back as a ghost to terrorize the neighborhood.
I'd have that told Chris his name was J.D. Walker. J.D. Walker's been dead for over 30 years.
In 1976, the Burger King Kingdom, their answer to McDonaldland, which basically McDonaldland was a ripoff of H.R. Puffin stuff, to the point that McDonald's was sued for it, and sued successfully by Sid and Marty Krofft. McDonaldland had their land, so Burger King had their kingdom.
So that's your Burger King!
Live and in color.
He's the marvelous, magical Burger King. He can do most anything.
Now watch me, kids, when I twist my rings like magic.
We're at Burger King,
where I'll do my magic while all of you sing.
He's the marvelous, magical Burger King. He can do most anything.
I love magic and food that's fun, so I'll float this burger high in the air. Now what's in the bag? It's burgers to spare.
It was eventually phased out by that BK Kids Club gang.
Masterpieces. They must be priceless.
No, they're not. You get them when you buy a Burger King Kids Club meal. You get 6 Crayola crayons and a Kids Club coloring book.
And then that led to a return of the Burger King when we got the Creepy King in the mask. I believe the first time we ever saw the creepy Burger King was when he accompanied Floyd Money Mayweather to the ring. Here's one of these commercials with the original Burger King.
Look, a UFO. Nope, a UFS. Unidentified flying shake.
It's Sir Shake-a-Lot.
I doubt it.
How about a shake, Sir Shake-a-Lot?
Great shake! Shakes and balloons out there. I'll pop one and show you it's a lot of hot air.
So here are some Burger King bookmarks, and this will show you the different characters they had. They had the Wizard of Fries, the Burger Thing, and this guy, the original puppet for this, was available on eBay at one point. And I kicked myself that I didn't buy it. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know who bought it, but this was a framed burger that would talk. I think Frank Welker did the voice of that. Here's the Burger King. I'll show you your place like magic. That's right. He's going to put you in your place. Here is the Duke of Doubt. That's the way I feel every time I go there. I doubt this sandwich was made recently. That's the real problem at Burger King. Because you order, like, I like that original chicken sandwich. That one that's like, you know, looks like it's cafeteria patty on a big giant long bun. When I went to Europe, I ordered it. They call it the long chicken.
Wish your chicken was bigger? The long chicken in 3 new flavors. Spicy Cajun, bacon club, or honey mustard.
Here's Sir Shakes-a-Lot because he didn't have his beer that morning. They did a lot of merchandising over the years. I happen to love this Burger King headphones. Like when everybody's wearing their Beats and their AirPods, like walking around sporting a pair of these, that's the move. Burger King crown has been around forever. This is like one of the unique things about Burger King. You go there, you get this paper crown put on your head while you eat your burger. When we had social distancing in 2020, Burger King put out this image with the Burger King sombrero that would keep you socially distanced from all your friends. Gary the King Lawler, look at this. Somebody puts a Burger King crown on his head during a broadcast. I love Jerry's reaction to this. I always associated Burger King crowns with wrestling. There would always be, Jerry Lawler would always get a Burger King chant. Kevin Smith told a crazy story about Sergeant Slaughter. I think this, by the way, was at one of the GalaxyCon shows I was at. But Kevin Smith used to live 4 miles away from Sergeant Slaughter, and he said they took a Burger King crown. He told this story on the Smodcast, I believe, but he said they ripped it into little pieces and they spelled out Gomer on his doorstep, because that was one of the things people would chant to Sergeant Slaughter. And apparently when Sergeant Slaughter came home, he saw it and he just kind of grouchily kicked it and then went inside his apartment. Burger King claims to have the best darn fries. Now, they have not been consistent with their fries, but my goodness, I love this jingle.
Fresh and hot, and that is what the best fries are about. Who's got the best darn French fries in the whole wide world? Burger King and I.
What's unique about them is not their fries, it's that they got the onion rings. They also sell them like Funyuns. You can buy onion rings in a sack. McDonald's did try the onion nuggets for a while, which then morphed into the McNuggets because they, I guess, had figured out how to batter something. So they were like, we need something for this. They did this Satis fries for a while, so these were supposed to be like a healthy alternative to
Burger King, a delicious new choice with 40% less fat and 30% less calories.
Burger King has reinvented their fries way too many times. They had a campaign for a while with Mr. Potato Head where he came out and told everybody about the brand new fries.
Let's see. Oh, on behalf of Burger King, it's a privilege to introduce the fries that'll change history.
The crispy new Burger King fries beat McDonald's fries in a nationwide taste test.
There he is in all his glory. I think I'm going to go out and try this again. I haven't played this in a few years. I've gotten to the very end and I got to the last mission and I can't beat it. The plot of this is you got some people, they're working jobs and they're, on a construction site or whatever, and they're about to pass out from hunger. But you, as the sneak king, you have to sneak up on them and sneakily give them a sandwich. If they see you, they go, oh, it's the Burger King. And then you can't give them a sandwich anymore. You've been spotted. And so you've got to sneak up on them. And I've gotten all the missions, because you have to beat them to unlock the next one. So I've gotten all of them. I got to the last one. I haven't been able to beat it. So maybe I'll fire this up again. According to their website, Burger King was founded in 1954 in Miami, Florida. But that isn't really true. It also says that Burger King is known for serving high quality, great tasting, and affordable food.
Oh, I love Burger King, don't you?
Our story actually starts in Jacksonville, Florida, with a man named Keith Kramer. Keith was inspired by the success of Dairy Queen, which had started in 1940 and already had amassed over 2,000 locations. Keith got his wife's uncle, Matthew Burns, to partner with him. Together, they purchased a stove called the Instabroiler, and then they used that device to open their very first location in Jacksonville, Florida. And then they looked to get new investors to franchise the restaurant. All franchisees would get the rights to use the Instabroiler. They'd also get the Instaburger recipe and their system. They decided on a name that would play off the fame of Dairy Queen. So they went with Instaburger King. Enter David Edgerton. He was a Cornell graduate, and he was currently managing all of the Howard Johnson restaurants in Orlando and Miami. He was the first person to buy into the franchise, and he opened the second restaurant on March 1st, 1954 in Miami, Florida. So David reaches out to his former classmate at Cornell, a man named James McElmore. McElmore was running his own restaurant in Miami. McElmore agrees to sell his restaurant and purchase into the Instaburger King with David, and they start a company called South Florida Restaurants. Together, they opened 10 Instaburger Kings over the next few years. Meanwhile, Kramer and Burns are struggling in Jacksonville. So they decide to close the restaurant and sell the franchise off to Edgerton and McElmore. So the two rebrand the restaurant as Burger King. And then in 1957, James McElmore comes up with the Whopper, which they sell for 37 cents. A decade later, they had built the chain up to 274 restaurants, and they sold it to Pillsbury. It's interesting that Burger King considers that 1954 date as the start of the franchise, and they don't acknowledge the two creators. Now, it's fair to say that if Kramer and Burns had been the only two people involved in Burger King, you never would have heard of it. This reminds me of how the McDonald's company for the longest time only acknowledged Ray Kroc as the founder and didn't acknowledge the McDonald's brothers at all. Wilbur Hardy also sold out Hardee's very early on, and for decades the company didn't acknowledge Wilbur Hardy despite the fact that his name was on every one of their restaurants. But Burger King says that the first location is in Miami, so that's where I went. Look at this. So I'm going to put in a picture here of what the buildings used to look like back then. That's it. Thankfully, the building is still standing because when Burger King outgrew it, rather than demolish it, they sold it and moved across the street.
200 million people, no two are quite the same. Each doing things their own way, each plays a different game, and most agree on some things, but all agree they say everybody loves a burger if they can have it fixed their way. That's why America loves burgers. We're America's Burger King. Oh yes, America loves burgers, and we're America's Burger King.
So after heading there and seeing the first Burger King with my own eyes, we headed over to see the second Burger King that also managed to save itself from the wrecking ball. So we're on what, 8th Street?
Yeah.
We are on 8th Street in Miami. This was Burger King in Miami, number 2. This building is still here. This is the original building. They've changed the roof on it, I believe. I'm going to show you a close look at it today. It is a Cuban barbecue restaurant.
Make it happy, make it warm, make each day a sing-along. Make it special, make it Burger King. Make it fresh, make it new, make it smile, make it come true. Make it special, make it Burger King.
This was Burger King number 2 in Miami, and the In between, there's only been one other restaurant, which is called Las Palmas, which was there. The barbecue place that is there today is the third restaurant to use this establishment. In 1984, Burger King did a parody commercial about Mr. Rogers.
Burger King presents Mr. Rodney. Hi, neighbors. Today's new word is something McDonald's does to every burger. Let's call it McFrying. Can you say that? McFrying. That's a word with zip. Now here's a question for you. If so many people preferred sizzling hot flame broiling like at Burger King, why is McDonald's still McFrying? That's one even Mr. Rodney can't answer.
The ad cost $150,000. They made that entire set, and it looks pretty close to the real thing. Mr. Rogers called up the head of Burger King, spoke to him, said, look, I want you to pull this commercial because I don't want children to see this and think that I'm doing an advertisement. The head of Burger King pulled the ad and said, look, you don't mess with Mr. Rogers. There were plenty of parodies of Mr. Rogers on television, including Eddie Murphy's Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. This was supposed to be Mr. Rogers if he lived in the ghetto. Fred Rogers had seen this, and he thought it was funny. And he also thought children were never going to see this. This was a nighttime program for adults. So when Mr. Rogers was a guest on Late Night with David Letterman, he walked down the hall, went to where Saturday Night Live dressing rooms were, knocked on the door. Eddie Murphy opened it. Eddie Murphy immediately hugged Fred Rogers. They talked for a while. I got to see a picture of this. Now, the picture that's online has a thing on the bottom, don't reproduce this picture. So I'm not going to reproduce it because we're talking about lawsuits here. I don't want to get sued by the Fred Rogers Company. But this picture I took myself. That's the actual Polaroid. I was in David Newell's office in Pittsburgh. He's Mr. McFeely. And that's the original photo because David Newell had a Polaroid instant camera, took the photo. I've held it in my hands and I took this picture of it. From the Neighborhood Archive website, which is fantastic, by the way, they say that director Paul Lally said that he was in New York City with Fred Rogers. And all of a sudden, a man came running up to Fred Rogers. And he said this happened a lot. And the man said, "You're Mr. Rogers." He said, "Yes." And he's like, "I'm the guy who made fun of you in the Burger King commercial." And Fred immediately said, "You did a great job." And the guy said, "I'm so sorry I made fun of you." And Fred said, "I'm sorry that you're not going to get any residuals from that commercial." And the guy said, "Well, you win some, you lose some." And Fred said, "You're going to do just fine." And they crossed the street, and that was it. The holidays have special commercials, but Valentine's Day doesn't seem to have very many good ones. There's the one where the M&M is trapped in the box.
Bathroom.
She just didn't open it for months. I found a commercial for Burger King overseas where they have a special cup.
And a little more.
Burger King also did another commercial overseas that was very funny. They were trolling McDonald's. They have Ronald McDonald in statue form. I remember when McDonald's used to have those little Valentines for the kids.
You and 5 others you can send to your friends.
Spending once more, huh? I am not.
And they did that for years. They had that in the 90s as well with a special Happy Meal box. Huge shout out to everybody over there on Patreon. I send postcards to everybody on that list, everybody that's Patreoning me for $3, patronizing me for $3 a month. You get a postcard in the mail. If you bump it up to $9 a month, you get a package full of really cool goodies every month. You'd be like Aaron Wester, Al Archer, Bucky and Oliver, Carson Loveridge, Dana Snyder, Jamie and Tom, Jen, Matthew Chapin, Michael and Jessica. You'd be like my brother Rob Hutchinson and Jason Evans. Go ahead and join today. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one. And if you did, please go ahead and subscribe.